I am happy to be here, and we are streaming live here from Boulder, Colorado. Today I'm going to talk about coaching, relationship coaching specifically. And I'm going to ask you if you want to come hang out with me in a masterclass coming up this Thursday. So I'll come back to that. I'll circle back to that. But I appreciate you all being here. What's up, everybody? So I want to talk about my history as a psychotherapist and a coach briefly. And then I want you to feel into your gift, your purpose in life here. And I want to suggest that before we start here, that your purpose comes out of your pain. So in case you haven't noticed, if you've ever interviewed a therapist, a doctor, a nurse, a firefighter, a coach, a acupuncturist, they all have a history of trauma and some kind of challenge, right, that they went through. And they wanted to understand it. And so they set out in their life to try to resolve and solve the problem and be like, how do I make sense of this? How do I make meaning out of this? And how do I overcome this? And along the way, the smart ones learned, and then they started trying to help other people. That could be you, right? It could be you. And I've trained hundreds of coaches now at this point, and, have all my friends are coaches and therapists basically. And we all have that in common. A lot of us also were more on the codependent spectrum. And let me define codependency before you freak out. Okay. It just means that you're more invested in the relationship than other people. It means that you're a helper. It means that you, as a kid in particular, you tried to make it better. It being your family or your circumstances. And one of the ways you tried to make it better as a little kid was to be helpful. And sometimes being helpful is being invisible. Sometimes being helpful is being a good girl or a good boy or a good person. Sometimes being helpful is being funny or cute or charming or witty or getting good grades. That you had a strategy as a kid that helped relieve the stress in the system, because stress is uncomfortable and bad for kids. Kids sense this, and so they behave in ways that try to mitigate the stress and make the big people and their siblings, if they have any, feel better, like less agitation over here. So all of us have strategies that contribute, that we created as kids to survive and thrive in our environment. And if you're not turning that into a superpower of yours as an adult, I think that's a problem. I want you to get paid well and earn a living if it's meaningful to you, only if it's meaningful to you, of course, helping other people, right? Just type yes in the chat if you're some kind of helper. If you identify as some kind of helper, just type yes in the comments below this video. I'd be curious to know if we have some helpers in the house. You know what I'm saying? And there's a little delay, so I can't exactly track this real time. Or you could do the heart thing, right? Whatever that does on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm seeing the yeses roll in. Right. So here's the problem with codependent helpers or helpers in adult relationships is it's their Achilles heel. It's like you think the way to get a good relationship is to keep doing your childhood pattern of helping someone. And that leads, you have to attract an under-functioner. You have to attract a person who's compromised in some ways for your strategy to stay online. So you'll find yourself in adult relationships where you tend to overfunction, they underfunction. And that's not the best place to run this superpower of yours. That's where it's problematic. The best place to run that superpower is in a job in an actual profession like nursing or being a doctor, being a therapist, being a coach. Okay. That's the best place to um, let this superpower of yours come out and come out strong. But here's the thing, you have to develop it. So if you find yourself identifying with what I'm saying, you tend to help in ways that are not helpful. And in this masterclass I'm teaching Thursday, I'm going to go deeper into this. Like, what do you mean what's not helpful about helping someone? Like, come on. Well, I think you all know that the default setting to help someone is to rescue them, to fix them, to give them advice, to enable them. That's what a lot of people think is helping someone. But all of those things are actually moving in the wrong direction to genuinely help someone overcome their challenge, particularly a relationship challenge. You don't help people by just giving a bunch of bullshit advice from your life experience. Okay, that's extremely limited. That's called being a friend to someone. That's okay. But if you want to get paid and paid well and get results and have the other person actually listen to you and actually implement what you're saying, you're going to need to develop your natural skill set of helping. And you want to do that by training and becoming, like going to a 3-year master's degree and getting that in psychology, which is what I did, or signing up for a coaching training and learning how to do it there. Or you enter your nurse practitioner program or whatever, and hopefully they teach you how to genuinely help someone. Like hospice is a good example of hospice people get trained not to like, oh, I'm sorry you're dying. Oh shit, there, let me take away your feelings. Oh God, that's so bad. You're scared. God, you're making me uncomfortable. Let me fix it. No, hospice people do not do that. Hospice people are like, they're like a mountain of love and care, and they allow the dying process to happen, and they hold space for people's emotions, and they don't try to fix anything. They don't try to rescue the dying patient from dying, right? Like family members do. So helping is actually in really habitual strategic ways is hurting, can hurt people. You can cause harm to people when you do your bullshit childhood strategy. Okay. It wasn't bullshit back then. Good job. High five. But it's bullshit if you keep running it and you don't upgrade your ability to actually help someone. Okay. So I just want to encourage you to develop your helping chops, whether you join me Thursday or not. Like, actually apply yourself. Please make a commitment right now that says, I am going to learn how to help people more effectively. Like, for example, I have a family member, we'll just say an extended family member, because that's what it is, who gets so much social reward for being such a good helper and such a good friend, and everything's great. And they're just so chipper, and they've trained their entire community that they're just the helpful one. But guess what? This person has a miserable fucking health situation. Their health is deteriorating every day because they overgive, overextend, and they neglect themselves. And they don't prioritize their own health. They're prioritizing everyone else. Okay? That is a unhealthy person. But because they get so much reward in their community, that it just keeps the strategy going. It's just like this constant like hamster wheel of validation, like external validation of like, everybody tells me I'm such a great helper, so I just better keep giving everybody birthday presents on their birthday and overextending myself and never attending to my own shit. That's problematic. Okay, I would never in a million years want this person to help me with my problems, specifically my relationship problems. I have a massive aversion to people who come in and try to rescue me, fix me, enable me, give me advice from their own life experience. Hey, Jason, when I was your age, this is what I did. Or, God, you know what I did last time I had a challenge in my thing? And oh, that shit pisses me off. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you want to get a deeper teaching or understanding, let's call it that, a deeper understanding of how to genuinely help someone, come to my masterclass Thursday. The link is right here on Instagram pinned. And if you are on YouTube or Facebook, it's relationshipschool.com/masterclass. Okay, come to that. And I want to take your questions here in a second. Instagrammers, since I know I can see the questions rolling in live. So I'm going to teach about, look, there's so many things I want to say. We have a big mental health crisis, right? I think we'd all agree that since COVID in particular, it's ratcheted up the mental health challenges, loneliness and social isolation, and people's stress levels and overwhelm is at, I think, all-time highs. And how do we really engage people here and help them feel more connected to themselves and each other, and less kind of sick and less problematic and less crazy and all the things? Well, we do it by addressing relational health. All right. So I have a strong assertion here from my experience working for a couple decades now with people, thousands of people, that our mental health problems, one of the primary factors creating mental health problems are relationship problems. In other words, early childhood trauma, early attachment trauma, bullying, all the things that happen to us in middle school and high school, and our first breakups, and how no one repairs anything with us, and it's like a shit show. And then we split off from our nature, our essence, and we create all these strategies, and then we get sick. And Gabor Mate, one of my mentors, wrote an amazing book on this, and it's called The Myth of Normal, if you haven't read it. So we've got problems, and we need helpers like you to help solve and address those problems. But you've got to do it. You simultaneously, if you're become a coach, for example, you work on your own stuff while helping other people with theirs. It's not oh, I'm not qualified, I have imposter syndrome, I'll wait till I'm on the summit, some weird summit that doesn't exist, and all my problems are solved, then I can help people. No. In case you haven't noticed, your problems will continue for life. My problems keep coming up. Okay? I haven't been able to erase or get to a place where I don't have problems. It's like, that's a fantasy. So I think if we take the view that we're going to have problems the rest of our lives, specifically relationship challenges, then it's like, I might as well engage and learn how to solve those problems for myself. And maybe I can lend a hand to someone else while I'm on the journey, while I'm solving my own problems. Yeah. So I'll talk more about this on Thursday between, I think it's 3 and 5 or 2 and 4. Let me just double check that so I don't send you guys. 2 and 4. So 2 to 3:30. It's an hour and a half masterclass if you can make the time. Don't worry, you don't need to attend live. Okay, if you can't come live, like right now, like this, don't worry, you can get the recording. So please register if you're a helper that wants to maybe consider becoming a professional, like a professional coach. If you're already a therapist, already a nurse, doctor, etc., you should also come, because I'm going to give you some tools and tips on how to be more effective with your strategies of helping people. Okay. I'm going to talk about the big mistake 99% of therapists and coaches make when working with humans. Okay. We're going to unpack that mistake. I'm going to talk about the one question to ask that will help your family members or clients get through their victim mindset, because I think we all know someone who's stuck in their victim seat, and they blame everyone else, and they can't seem to mobilize to change their life. I'll talk about more blind spots in the healing arts profession, and I'll unpack this stuff about relational health, okay? Because I'm taking a stand for creating a more relational world out here, in here, and out here, starting with myself and my family and extending outward, because I believe we're very divided, and I think we need help here. And a lot of us there was no class. We didn't have great mentors. Our parents, we got what we got with our parents. So how do we actually do this relationship thing better? How do we repair conflict more effectively? How do we teach other people to repair conflict so that we're less divided? And it can be done, right? I'm doing it, and I witness it every day. It's a big mountain, but I'm never going to stop, because this is my life and my life's work. Yeah, so maybe there's a question or two if you want before we stop today, just about coaching or therapy, or how do we actually help people. Some of you have family members that probably need help. Some of you have friends that are in the shitter. Maybe you are um, challenged. And no, twinkles, you don't have to have a degree. Um, when you become a professional helper, right, you just want training. You don't need a degree. You just want training and legit training, right? Anyone can help effectively if they learn how and they have proper training. Yeah, that's open to anybody. Totally. Um, yeah, it's Melissus. Unfortunately, do not teach us how to genuinely help people in healthcare, which is why I found myself here. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, our healthcare system has a few problems. One of them is what you just said, that they're not really teaching people how to effectively help people. Yeah. Yeah. And Denise, friends who seek others' validation for answers. Yeah, some people are oriented to, hey, do you have do you have the answer to my problem? Hey, do you have my answer to my problem? Hey, do you have the answer to my problems? It's all outside of me. And a good coach, a good therapist teaches people how to find and awaken the answers inside. Um, and there's ways to do that, right? And I'll talk about that on Thursday. Yeah. Cool. So fun to have so many of you here. Um, what's up, Relly? Will this live be added to your page? Yes, it will be. Yep. And I'd love to see you all. The link is pinned on Instagram. And again, it's relationshipschool.com/masterclass if you want to join my masterclass. And again, the title of the masterclass here is The Art of Relationship Coaching, and 3 essential skills that will make you the most sought after coach in your network. Also talk about how to become a coach. Okay, some of you are not, you're already coaches. Some of you are like, coach, what the heck? I'm just a, frustrated person in my relationship that feels kind of codependent. Great. Well, if you want a career change and you want to, work for yourself, and you don't want the liability of working for someone else or AI taking your job, I would encourage you to come learn a few skills and also learn about kind of the coaching industry by going to relationshipschool.com/masterclass. Okay. I think it's going to be a good old time. Oh, that's a good question. I'll take a couple more questions here from Crystal and I'm a Jaya. So Crystal's asking, how do you not take someone else's problems home with you as a coach? Ooh, that was hard. When I worked at a mental health center as a family therapist, I was working with incest survivors, and I was working with really traumatized, low-income families, and it was incredibly intense for me to go home at night and try to sleep. I had a lot of problems early on. I had dreams. I was dreaming about my clients and nightmares about my clients. So I had to learn boundaries, and I actually created a ritual for myself of kind of letting go of work. There's things we can do as helpers, especially us who are empathic and sensitive, and we take on sometimes people's energy. We need to learn how to not be so spongy, Yeah. How to keep power balance when helping a willing partner. Well, again, as long as it's a figure 8, you've seen me draw pictures. If you follow me on social media, a good relationship is a sideways figure 8 on its side. It's not a one way, I help you, but you don't help me. So the energy is unilateral. It should be bi-directional, right? And so you can talk about it. Jai, you can say, hey, I don't like, this feels a little imbalanced power here. I'd love to have an equal, equitous relationship here. Are you willing to do that with me? Heather, do you need a degree already to become a coach? No, that's what's so cool about coaching is you don't need a degree at all. You can be a high school dropout and become a coach. It doesn't matter. All you need is a heart that's online and some tools. That's basically it. Yeah, that's what's, again, I like the coaching industry for that. Okay. Why don't we stop there? Again, check out the pinned comment there, relationshipschool.com/masterclass. Come join me if you want to go deeper in this conversation. If you like what's happening here, it's a paid class, so you're gonna You don't have to be live. You can watch it over the weekend. We'll send you the recording. But because if you're slightly motivated, you're willing to pay the fee to say, I want to learn this stuff. I want to learn from this character. And I'll give you a few skills that even if you never become a coach, will probably help you help, your sick father-in-law, or your neurotic mother, or your ex-partner who's needs a lot of help. I'm going to give you a couple pointers, and you guys can ask me questions live. It'll be on a Zoom call, so you can ask me questions live and talk to me. All right. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see you Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Again, that's relationshipschool.com/masterclass. All right. We'll see you there.